Alright guys, Supreme Kami here, and today gonna be doing a review of the 1-to-144 entry grade new Gundam FF and also the booster bed for the high grade 1-to-144 new Gundam. So as far as the new Gundam, I do have it on the site already, so I will be showing you guys once I do review it for the booster bed. But right now these are both just built. I have not done any extra panel lining, extra detailing whatsoever, so they are already presentable actually. You wouldn't really need to do a whole lot, especially for the new Gundam FF. All the details are kind of there, especially like the orange yellow that would not be presented into or from the original high grade new Gundam. So now this one has it, so it looks a lot more nicer as far as the presentation. So obviously both these units are premium Bandai kits that I purchased a fairly long time ago. I want to say I pre-ordered it last year, I think either July or August, and then I got them in December, and I finally have time to kind of build them and then review them. So let's actually review the new Gundam ever first. I'm just gonna be running through some of the articulations, some detailing, and then we will hop over to the booster bed. Head articulation, you are able to rock the head back and forth like that just a little bit. It's not going to be a whole lot, and my top of the head part just gonna pop right off like that. I don't know why. It's a pretty loose on my end, so that's pretty unfortunate. And then last but not least, we have the full 360-degree spin with a little bit of an effort put into it. So moving into the arm articulation, so as far as the connector point to the arm to the torso, it's not going to be like your traditional ball socket to like a polycab, which I'm going to be showing you guys right now. It's just going to be popping that out real quick after this. So yeah, just like that. So it is a little bit loose sometimes, but you are able to get your full range of movement obviously, and you're also going to be able to spin it 360 degrees without any problem because there's pretty much nothing hindering it. And forward bend, we are able to get roughly about 90 degrees or so, so that's actually not too bad for entry grade. And then down to the actual arm itself, you are able to spin it from the shoulder itself, so no problem whatsoever. And then down to the actual arms or the hands themselves, it is going to be on a ball joint socket, so that is quite nicely. I did choose to use the open hand palm because this one looks really nice instead of the actual closed fist or so. So that is pretty much it for the arm articulation. Torso articulation, you do have a great range of mobility. So right now it's kind of like I kind of tighten it a little bit, so once you get it loosened whatsoever, you're going to be able to rock it left and right just like that. In terms of the forward and back, you will definitely get a great deal of range as well, so it just really depends what kind of pose you want to make. So this one is definitely very versatile. So I'm trying to get a 360-degree spin with the torso. It's not going to happen because the bottom portion is pretty much going to be stopping you from doing so, so that is very unfortunate. So heading down to the waist section, the front skirt is going to be able to just kind of flop up like so. As far as the connection, do you want to get this connected? I would say highly not, just because there's not really like a secure spot maybe after you disconnect. So having them connected is probably going to be the best possible way. And then let's kind of dive down into the side skirt just a little bit to show you guys the detail. So it is going to be a yellow piece over a white piece, and then it is going to be under kind of like a ball and socket type connection, so it's really secure, I would have to say. And then if you do add it, a slight panel line to it, you can definitely get more detail out of it. So back skirt is going to be one giant piece connected, so not much going on right there. And then this is going to be showcasing up the legs articulation now, so we are going to be able to bend forward just like so, no problem. At least backward probably not that much, that's why they didn't even show it. And then we are able to get up to a, I want to say roughly more than 150-degree kind of spin. And then I think I do want to kind of showcase up like the actual connection from the legs to the waist. So it is going to be on the regular ball joint socket, but you are going to be able to swivel just a little bit from the actual legs themselves, so that's kind of quite interesting. And then having down to the actual feet themselves now, they are, I would say, on a rather peculiar kind of connection. It's kind of like an L shape with the ball joint connected to the feet, and then you don't really get a whole lot of range and all that. So I think right now I am trying to attempt to see if we can do a split. Not quite successful, so we won't even try to go further than that. And that's pretty much it as far as the leg connection or the legs articulation. So now actually talking about the more important part, we have the long range funnel. So this one actually does come with two different modes. So this right here, we are taking a look at the closed version. So once we swap out the middle piece, we can kind of make it into the extended version, where it's supposedly firing, type just like that. Unfortunately, I don't know, for whatever reason, the gray portion of the long range funnel is kind of slanted a little bit. So I think to kind of play around with for me specifically, I just have to kind of not connect so well to the back portion of it, and then we should be fine. And then here we are just trying to connect the pieces that will attach onto the back of the arm. So it's pretty much kind of like an underarm type deal. So it's pretty much going to be held by friction, which I think is actually, I will not say the connection is loose at all. It's quite rather firm, but we are just going to be experimenting the long range funnel attaching onto the arm, and you guys can see that it is heavy already. So the arm is slowly dripping down. Like we're not going to be able to get any let's say if we do swing this forward just even a little bit, it's not going to stay. So that is very unfortunate. I think as time goes on, like you play more of the kit, you move it a lot, post whatever. It's just that the ball socket onto the torso itself is just not really stable, unfortunately. But here we are, just gonna be lunging it forward, desperately trying to hold on to the arm. So for more posability, we are going to be attaching onto a new piece. This is going to attach onto the back part, and then this one is pretty much having the long range fin funnel kind of extends outward. So that peg is going to peg into the side of the back part, and then what we will do after that is pretty much going to be bringing in the long range fin funnel, pretty much the same attaching point as we did for the arm section. Pop it in, and then just kind of slide it forward just a little bit, and then we will have it secure. It's not the most secure, it does kind of wiggle just a little bit, but the final result is you have the long range fin funnel pointing forward. This is a very, very dangerous artillery that we're looking at, and you guys can see that it just kind of flopped a little bit, unfortunately. But overall, I think in terms of just having this like posing it wise, is actually quite good. It definitely just looks pretty aesthetically pleasing for sure. So now what we are going to do, we are going to connect to the original New Gundam's fin funnel. So what we're going to do, we're going to pop the top part, and then they actually do give you another piece where you can attach on. So it's pretty much going to be the same connector point to the original New Gundam's fin funnel. So we're just going to quickly attach onto that. I'm not going to be placing the top part on. We're just going to quickly grab the fin funnel and then just going to slap it on like so. So pretty much just going to be the same thing, but the only thing that does not really match it, unfortunately, is going to be the black sections right in the middle of the fin funnel. It doesn't really correlate too well with the overall color scheme, so that is unfortunate. And then right now we are experimenting some weight heavy issues. I can't really seem to get the New Gundam like standing straight. Probably just everything is becoming loose quite fast. I mean, like I just straight built this guy, but just becoming loose already. And we obviously do have the infamous shoe, just gonna attach on, no problem. Pretty much having the same peg, but unfortunately the actual beam rifle itself does not really have like a good connector point to the arm provided with this new version of the New Gundam. Even the old, if you want to use the old arm, it's not gonna connect quite well. It's too big. Like the ball joint is actually just a little bit too big, so I'm not gonna force my way through it. It's just it's not gonna look pretty, unfortunately. Alright, so last but not least, we have ourselves the boosted vest. So quick side profile view just to see how it looks like. Top portion, there are a lot of dotted lines that I can kind of go ahead and ink it in, and it will look a lot more better. And then we already do have the connector point from the boosted back onto the New Gundam. Just the back portion of 2 thrusters, so not looking too terrible. So you can definitely go ahead and do some detailing as well. So once you attach the new Gundam, it's pretty much going to be looking like any unit that is being carried it on a carrier. So not looking too terrible. There's not going to be like an arm handle for the actual Gundam hands, so it just gonna rest just like that. Even the instruction doesn't really show anything else. So I think overall the presentation does not look too bad. The connector points from the base, or I was about to say base element, but the booster bed does not look too bad. It's kind of well hidden, so you won't really notice it from up front. So that's good. Just a little bit of a back profile view, so a lot of thruster going on. So we got 6 in total, just whooshing out, trying to get away from anti-high electronics as fast as possible. That's Armor Ray is heading back to help his friend, but overall it's not that bad. I think if you are someone that really do love any of these carrier type stuff, this one's definitely something you want to get specifically, so you can kind of have the new Gundam recreate what happened in Char's counter attack.